Good morning. Hey Emma. Hey Nick. Hey Lauren. Hey Sarah. Hey Bia or B. Hey Natalie. Hey Olive. Tree. Lifestyle. Sorry. Hey Jodie. Hey Beautiful. Hey Claire. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I've got no childcare in my house today. Little warning. So it's just me and the kids, and Alba woke up like 10 minutes ago and she is moody. So I'm going to try and keep it to 7 minutes. So lots of manifesting, loads of ladybirds and bugs and beetles, and I just wanted to say a few of you, like loads of you are seeing them, but some people aren't. And I just wanted to let you know that even if you don't see them this week, over the next month, the universe is fully going to take the piss out of you and just show you them everywhere. So don't worry about it, okay? But we've had the weirdest thing with like ladybirds turning up on people's dads when they're on the phone to their dad, and their dad being like, oh, there's a ladybird on me, that's random, and stuff like that. So I love hearing the stories, so keep telling me. The next thing we're going to manifest is going to be something super specific, okay? But anyway, right. So turning anxiety into your superpower. So hands up if you've got anxiety or ever had anxiety, or if you're an overthinker. Anyone? I like to dabble in a bit of anxiety every now and again. Every now and again I think, my life isn't good enough. I am going to make myself anxious by seeing who's unfollowed me, or like stressing myself out, you know. I know, I'll stress myself out by stressing myself out, and normally it's got something to do with social media. But anyway, anxiety. Anxiety can look like really overly people-pleasing. It can look like checking in on people, like, I haven't heard from that person, I'm going to check in on them. And that just might be a friendly check-in, but sometimes it can tip into I haven't heard from that person, they must hate me. Oh my God, they hate me. They hate me so much. Oh my God, they haven't liked anything that I've put on social media for a week. I'm going to send them 100 texts, and not only am I going to check that they're all right, but I'm actually going to go into, well, what's actually wrong? What's actually going on with you? There's obviously something wrong, yeah? And we suddenly think that we've got these psychic abilities where we can connect with our friends, and we know there must be something wrong. And actually, do you know what? Try not to take stuff like that personally. But anyway, anxiety. So anxiety is really just you using your imagination for bad. And a lot of people will say, oh no, I've got a terrible imagination. The truth is, if you are an anxious person and you are creating scenarios in your head, you have got an excellent imagination. You're just not allowing it to do the good stuff that it's supposed to do. So I'm going to talk about the brain now. This is just a really basic terms, okay? So this isn't exactly right, but you essentially have a creative half of your brain and an analytical half of your brain. Your creative half of your brain, we're all born creative. We were all born to explore, discover, find solutions for things. And if we don't use the creative side of our brain, it decides to rule itself, yeah? So you either put you in the driver's seat of the creativity, or your brain is going to go, right, let's mess her up a little bit today and let's create some scenarios because I'm bored, yeah? So it will team what it knows, yeah, to be truth, that things that it has actually seen, with creative scenarios. But they're more often than not, these creative scenarios will be negative creative scenarios because it's bored, yeah? It's overthinking. It's like, oh, she's not using me for everything that I can do. I know. I'm going to mess her up today. So unless you start to train your brain to pick the solutions that you want it to pick, to see the visuals that you want it to see, to paint, to draw, to sing, to do it, anything, then your brain is going to be ruling you, yeah? Not the other way around. And it should be the other way around. Okay? So my suggestion to overcome it, and what I've found useful, is one, writing. Using your, in school, we're kind of schooled out of the joy of writing, and I feel like writing is our biggest tool. If we use it one way or another, because in school we have to write, you have to write about this, you have to write about things that you're not really interested in, writing becomes a chore. But to be honest with you, in your adult life, if you can use writing, if you can get back on track with writing, writing can become your biggest ally, biggest asset. If you have a journal, yeah, it can become like you're carrying around your best mate, your inner child, your thing that can self-soothe. When I have previously lost my journal, and my anxiety just goes through the roof, because it is I use mine, and I wrote down what I use it for mostly when I'm feeling anxious: brain dumping, rage pages, boundary health check, brainstorms, and to-do lists. If you can take out what's going on in here and put it into to-do lists, then you can see it. Oh, it's visual. Okay, I can actually work through this. And even if I only do one thing a day of this to-do list, at least I'm working closer to my goals. A rage page. Do you know what? I feel really angry. And the truth is, I'm at that point of anger where anything I say or do is actually not going to be constructive. But I also know that I need to channel this and put it somewhere. So I'm going to put it in here. Or, hang on, these are my boundaries, these are my values. And I know that I wasn't really being myself at that point. I know that what I did yesterday, or the things that I was saying with the people I was saying with them, or what I was sat in, didn't feel right to me. Or I wasn't treated very well yesterday at work, and that I actually found that really disrespectful, and I need to check, does that sit with my values? Am I okay with that? Can I organise my thoughts so that I can very analytically say, this is what happened that I felt uncomfortable with. I noticed that this happened, I felt this afterwards, and I'm not okay with that. And then you can come at it with love. You don't need to go straight into rah and shouting and screaming about things, because you can see, well, actually, that wasn't fair. Or sometimes you might be wrong, and sometimes you might feel like, oh, I did something today and it really didn't sit right with me, and now I'm looking at that, and can I correct it? Can I go back to that person and say, just so you know, that thing that I said earlier, I feel like I might not have come across the way that I meant it to come across, or I absolutely know that I shouldn't have said that to you, and I want you to know that I am really sorry. Anyway, I've skipped right to the bottom point because I felt like it was relevant. But anyway, so by allowing yourself to daydream, by allowing yourself to use your imagination for good now, yeah, that's what we're doing when we're manifesting. How many of us have manifested an outcome that we didn't want based on fear because we dress rehearsed it first? We dress rehearsed falling out with that friend because we thought that that friend didn't like us anymore. We dress rehearsed the end of that relationship in our mind. We thought, oh yeah, well, you know, this isn't going anywhere, I'm going to cut it off short. And we end up cutting off something short, or blocking off a really good friendship because we've overthought it. Or sometimes, you know, we can even get ourselves out of a job where we'll think, oh, I'm going to be made redundant, I'm going to be made redundant, I'm going to be made redundant. And then I'll stop playing, I'll stop working as hard, what's the point? You know, and then you become less valuable to your team. And when they're making the hard choices, you know, obviously, are they going to go for someone that for the last 4 months has been 50% in, 50% out, or are they going to go for someone that has been still up, giving it their 100%? So all of us manifest outcomes that we don't want at some point in our lives. We've all done that, and that's really normal. But from now on, yeah, because you've done my course, and, you know, don't fuck this up, because, no, I'm only joking, but from now on, we are only manifesting in the positive. We're going to watch what we say all of the time, but we're also going to allow our imagination to run wild, and we're going to allow it to run wild in the positive. And the way to do that is, you know, your area of lack. that we talked about on Tuesday, replacing your area of lack with hope, replacing your area of lack with the truth that there is an abundance of opportunities, jobs, people, relationships, men, houses, whatever it might be, so that you can start to feel like, do you know what, I'm going to approach this more creatively. I'm going to approach this in a way that means that I can truly believe that there is the right thing is out there for me, and I'm going to pursue it at my 100%, at my 10, because otherwise what's the point of me living my life in this boring autopilot state? I think that what I'm trying to manifest is too big. It's absolutely not too big. What you're trying to manifest the big things, dream as big as you can, because then the hurdles appear more like pebbles than a massive boulder in your way, yeah, because you can see this huge great picture and get that picture so vivid, get the picture so rich that you are in love with the details. Oh, I'm excited about the fact that it's going to have this texture on the box when I deliver my, whatever it is, or I'm excited about the fact that my new house is going to have wooden sash windows and wooden floors and a chandelier that's just been there randomly and I'll find it in the garden and I'll be like, yes, I know it's the one. So really allowing yourself to dream big. And I love daydreaming, like to the point where I don't know if anyone's ever seen Rango, but there's a girl on Rango and she just zones out. And that's what I do all the time. And I think that's probably as close to meditation as I'll ever get, because my brain's way too scatty to be able to meditate. A limiting belief. Shut up, Jen. One day I'll be able to, sooner I can meditate. Okay, sorry, correct myself. But being able to imagine the good scenarios has to come from this understanding that there is an abundance of whatever it is you want. And all the time you tell yourself that there's a lack and a scarcity around that thing, then you'll create fear in your head. And then the brain, half of your brain that knows the truth, yeah, and the analytical and the creative, when they're married together, yeah, it feels exactly the same as if it truly is happening. So your brain actually thinks, yeah, I'm psychic. And your brain thinks, yeah, this is really going to happen. This is really the truth. Because it feels true, because you've had scenarios like it before in the past. Yeah. So if you can imagine something bigger than you, your brain might try to reject it. Yeah. Because it hasn't done it before. And people around you might try to reject it because it hasn't done it before. But I want you to use this sentence, okay? The next time that someone says to you, yeah, but that's not realistic, I want you to say, there was a time when people hadn't sent spaceships into space. There was a time when getting on a plane wasn't realistic. And what I'm talking about is nowhere near that. So take your realistic and shove it up your ass, because, no, don't say that, that's really mean. Just say, why don't you think that's realistic? That's really sad that you would have a glass ceiling on yourself. I don't have that. No, don't be that passive aggressive. I'm joking. Anyway, allowing yourself to get into your daydreams is so good for you, and just let yourself create. Today's homework is all about daydreaming, and it's about dreaming your absolute best life. So I want you to really think, like, what does my life look like if there are no areas of lack, if there is nothing that I'm scared of, if I believe in and I wrote this down, so I'm referring, I should just talk, shouldn't I? But if you believe that you are capable of anything, if you believe that you're resourceful, if you can truly believe in your own abilities, in your own everything, yeah? If you truly believed in all of that, what would your life look like if there was not a single limit? I want you to write that. And when I'm talking about writing, I want you to write it so, like, free, and whatever it might be that you are putting down, I want you to times it by 10. I want you to get so excited about this vision, and I want you to fall in love with the details. I want you to fall in love with the big. I want you to fall in love with the little. I want you to fall in love with it all, because that love will be what drives you to get from where you are now to where you want to be. The same as those people that went into space, the same as those people that made planes, that made the internet, that had an idea. I've got an idea, I'm going to make it come true, yeah? We've all had an idea that we've made come true. We may have made negative ideas come true in the past, but now we're not allowed because we've done this course, okay? I have a wonderful visualization exercise for that. That is amazing. We post a link after this because none of these comments save. It's the most popular time to sell right now. We can't sell a house in lockdown. Why the hell not? The reply has been you're not being realistic. Exactly. Like, you're not being realistic. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? It means they're afraid for you, because there's no such thing as realistic. What your realistic is compared to what my realistic is, compared to what Bill Gates' realistic is, compared to what Beyonce's realistic is all very different, yeah? The way that we spend our lives will be determined by what we believe to be realistic for ourselves. Take that realistic glass ceiling that is above your head and smash it. And the next time you hit one, smash that one as well, because realistic does not exist. If you can imagine it, then it's realistic, okay? So just start to imagine it. And you cannot grow without imagining first. You don't just suddenly wake up and are the CEO of a company or have made £1 million. You had to have imagined it and then executed it, planned it next, yeah? You cannot just, when people want to write a book, I want to be an author. All right, how much time are you setting aside to being an author? Oh, well, I'm not. I just, imagine it, execute it. Imagine it, execute it. A book doesn't spring out of nowhere. Nothing springs out of nowhere. You have to imagine it first, say it out loud, take the necessary steps to get it done, and get it done, yeah? Let it become a to-do list. Let it become a brainstorm. Take your best asset and start to put it on paper. Start to actually take yourself seriously. Let me check I haven't missed anything. Understand that you can control your thoughts and give power to stop manifesting what you don't want. Yeah, I've said all this. Anyway, I'm not going to go on today. 18 minutes. I've already gone on too long. Love you all. Oh. We didn't pick what we're manifesting today, and I'm actually going to pick it today, if that's all right with everyone. And I'm going to be really specific because I'm going to prove to you that manifesting works, okay? So I was thinking about what we're going to manifest today. All of these things you will start to see over the next month, so do not put pressure on yourself to see them today. But today's mini manifestation is going to be a pair of scales, but not just any pair of scales. No. It's going to be them scales that are like a stick and then a thingy and then two thingies here and then like two plates. Maybe like brass with a black bit in the middle. Do you know what ones I mean? Do you know what ones I mean? Does that make sense? You got that visual? Can you see it in your mind's eye? Like when iron scales, yeah, like them old-fashioned ones, yeah? You with me? This is what we're going to see. Universe, please show me and all of these people watching some old-fashioned brass scales that are like the hangy ones, you know? Got that? Yeah. Tomorrow is my favourite day. I'm going to get all woo-woo on you tomorrow. And I'm just so excited and I'm just so proud of you all for doing this. and being open to this, and the opportunities that will come to you, the ideas that will present themselves to you over the next few days, month, etc. Keep going with that, okay? And trust it. And every time you get something, so say for example, when you get your ladybird, when you get your iron scales, when you see it, thank the universe, okay? Thank you, universe, for sending me this ladybird. Thank you, universe, for, because if you strengthen your connection with your subconscious, with the universe, with God, whichever word you want to use there, when you strengthen that, what are you learning? To trust yourself, to trust the universe, to trust that there is an abundance of ladybirds, ideas, whatever it is. So every time that you see something, thank it, because then the universe is like, I'm doing my job. She likes me. She's grateful. I'm going to send her more. But anyway, we'll leave on that note. Love you all. Bye.